Welcome back to Silent Pew. Today I've got something special for you guys and I'm really excited to bring it out here. This is going to be a gun most of you have seen in a video game at some point in time, and it's also going to be something some people consider a space gun. Nonetheless, we've got ourselves the FN P90. So to kick us off, let's talk a little bit about what we have going on here. First and foremost, we've got our FN P90, and as you can see, this PDW style gun looks quite a bit different than some other guns that you may have seen out there in terms of its style, its looks, and its ergonomics. We have ourselves a bullpup design, which basically just means that the trigger is up front and the magazine is in the back. However, in this case, as you guys can see, the magazine is actually up top. So it's an interesting style. You've got this magazine that's up top that can be released like this, goes in, and then it actually feeds downwards and ejects downwards as well. What we're gonna see in this translucent style magazine is all of the bullets are lined up in one direction and they actually feed towards the rear, and they're going to actually do a twist motion before they feed forward, which is actually gonna be this direction. And of course, we're gonna be shooting the infamous 5.7 by 2.8. Finishing out going through the rest of the gun, we actually have ourselves a PS90, which comes with the 16-inch rifle barrel. And honestly, that thing just doesn't go with the aesthetics on this bad boy because that's not how it's supposed to look. So we swapped that thing out for a 10.4-inch CMMG barrel. And you guys are probably wondering, well, that flash hider doesn't look like the standard flash hider that usually comes on that thing when we see it. You're right, it's not. We've got ourselves an ASR flash hider for obvious reasons, so we can throw on that suppressor. Lastly, this thing just got a recent makeover, so we have thrown on the HBI Industries low mount here. So instead of having that Picatinny up top for this Aimpoint T2, we've got a low mount style from HBI, which allows us to put a direct mount on that Aimpoint to get it as low as possible, because this thing is already a high height over bore. We also have ourselves an HB Industries sling mount on the front and the back here. We don't have a sling out here today, but it is ready to go. And then finally, we've got ourselves an HBI Industries setup for a flashlight up there on the top right-hand side. Nonetheless, I'm excited. Let's get some shots in. All right, first thing I want to do, since some people might have some questions about this CMMG barrel, is I want to test out the accuracy. So we're going to put a group on paper and just see how this feels and how it looks. All right, let's take a look at this grouping here. Did a quick zero before, so we're not sitting on a sturdy bag or anything, just off the barrel. And as you can see there, we're looking pretty good. I got two shots grouped pretty well on the right-hand side. Left-hand side there, we have one that flew a little bit left, and we're aiming right at that letter A. So not too bad, not too bad at all. So let's talk about our feel on this bad boy. So first and foremost, we've got ourselves a PDW from the ground up design. And so it's going to be nice and compact. So we're going to be able to get this in and out of some close quarter situations fairly easily. We've got our charging handle on the left and right side, so that's going to be fully ambidextrous there. And then as you guys seen, we've got that top loading magazine, which is quite a bit different, but it keeps the style compact. And the ejection is coming here from the bottom. We've got our safety up front here, right by the trigger and the trigger guard. And of course, we've got safe and semi-auto, and so that's pretty convenient in terms of being able to switch that on and off. And of course, because we've got ourselves a bullpup style trigger there, that feels pretty terrible. So that would be probably the one downside to this, is that trigger feels like crap. Let's take a couple more shots here. All right. So one of the things I love about this thing is the recoil is basically non-existent. It feels fantastic. It's super soft, super smooth. And as you're going through this, you can really just light that paper up and feel like nothing's happening. I love this thing. This thing is great. I'm really happy to have this out here for you guys today. Of course, I mentioned earlier having that ASR flash hider on there for this reason. Just like that, we've got ourselves a quick detach mount. Allows us to throw this bad boy on quick and easy. Beautiful, beautiful. Now with the silencer on there, this thing feels even better. Definitely a little bit more gas to the face, however, so I can definitely feel that in my nose. All right, quick tip for anybody that has this and doesn't know about it, or if you're unfamiliar with this firearm, this actually came set up and ready for 4 different sights. So first off, we've got our red dot on top, and of course you can put any optic on the Picatinny rail that it standard comes with. Second, you're actually going to see up here, these are 2 front posts, and these are 2 rear posts. So in a pinch, you can quickly go to the right or to the left if you need to. And then I took it off, but the standard Picatinny rail actually had a rear circle and a post up front. So that gave you 4 different ways to see your bullet down range. All right, we're going all A zone at the top, and just standing, we're gonna see what we can do. All right, let's go check it out. All right, we got a tight box up here. We took 6 shots. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, let's tape those up. Let's take the suppressor off and let's see if we get a point of impact shift there without the suppressor and of course standing up. All right, no silencer. All right, we took 6 shots, no silencer on this time. And about the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3 in the A, 3 outside. Again, point of impact is not gonna be crazy in terms of a shift when I'm standing up without having a stable base there. But nonetheless, that's what it looks like. All right, we moved ourselves back to 50. We're just gonna get a little bit of a feel for some longer distance shots here as well. All right, let's check those out. All right, 50 yards. Right there, aiming for the A zone. Obviously, I wasn't taking my time. I was just pulling that trigger, but again, that's gonna work. Man, make sure you guys like and subscribe for tip number 2. Now, I've had this since 2015, and I actually didn't even know until recently that the dust cover is down here. So I just closed that dust cover. It's gonna flop open when we start shooting, but that's quick tip number 2 if you're unfamiliar with this platform. All right, I wanna do a couple quick bill drills from the low ready just to see how it feels. Total time 1.90, hit factor 15.78. Let me know if that's good. Total time 1.89, hit factor 15.87. Again, let me know if that's good. Also, if you guys watch Summer Shoots, let her know this is the shooter's global timer, picks up suppressors no problem. I actually see a lot of people that run the Pack 3 timer and it's not picking up suppressors. So if anyone's having issues, as a matter of fact, picking up suppress fire, this shooter's global's got you. Drop a comment down below and let me know if this is something that you guys like, something you want in your collection, or if it's something that you guys already have. As always, I appreciate everyone tuning in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and of course, stay safe and shoot straight.